town committee meetings and city committee meetings and making some contacts, it sounds like.
I was making some contacts back then, but honestly not a lot.
Really?
I was talking to friends and neighbors and just spreading the word as to what I was planning on doing.
Right.
And at that time it truly was planning.
Yeah.
It's only in the fall that I started gearing up, and I really put my own personal motivation and goals and plans on hold as I was working on Scott's campaign. Now, of course, as I'm standing out in the freezing cold holding signs, chanting to the people with me, I made it well aware to them what my ultimate goal was in my own personal career and political life. And I got to know people one-on-one. We'd go out after we were holding signs out to warm up, have something to eat together, chat, get to know each other. And that was really the start of the campaign.
Yeah, because I am interested in how you must have had many a conversation around the kitchen table about this. How do we actually win this thing? As you yourself said in the beginning, maybe it was about, we got to get these issues out there, we got to make sure that these issues are addressed. Now, election of Scott Brown, you pointed to a couple of others that you saw nationally where you said, you know what, no, this is the time, maybe we can actually win this thing. Congressman Jim McGovern, though, very popular.
Yes.
Comes from Worcester. His base is Worcester. The city is heavily Democratic, even if the areas around went for Scott Brown in this last election. And certainly there are areas where we have Lou Evangelitis, Karen Polito, others, you know, who are Republicans who have been elected in this area. But Worcester, the city, his base, heavily Democratic. How do you kind of overcome that natural advantage that he has coming from Holliston?
It's not going to be easy. It will be a matter of getting out, knocking on doors, meeting people, sitting down in living rooms and actually explaining who I am, what I stand for, and talking to people. They can only learn about me by sitting down with me. They know Congressman McGovern, obviously, because he's been in office for almost 14 years. The name is there. Every time they go to vote, the name is there. And most years, when he's up for re-election, there is no other name.
Right. Right. He has, though, I mean, he does certainly, Congressman Jim McGovern, good reputation, has brought home the bacon. I've got to say, too, as I listened to your answers and was very happy to have you lay out where it is that you're coming from, stark contrast. I mean, I don't see any middle ground between you and Congressman Jim McGovern. I'm not sure where you would have a similar vote on just about any issue.
We probably wouldn't. Looking at his voting record, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's issues we can think of that truly are pure American support that overlap, but as far as fiscal responsibility, as far as foreign policy, as far as domestic policy, we're pretty
into that. I mean, he's certainly someone, Congressman McGovern would love to see us out of Afghanistan, wants to see Guantanamo Bay closed down. Your views on those?
Well, my view is that we, like it or not, and I don't like it, we are at war. We were attacked. We weren't attacked because we're bad people. We were attacked because of an ideology. And I don't believe that we can actually just sit down and sing Kumbaya and all of a sudden everyone will like us. We need to know our enemy. We need to deal with our enemy. I would like to see the hostilities end, but I believe that we need to, as a country, end it by showing who we are and building up the military. It worked under Reagan, it worked under Kennedy. Showing a strong America is the only way to win. And Ronald Reagan actually said, and unfortunately our administration won't say it, victory is defined in very simple terms. One side wins, one side loses. And America doesn't lose.
Do you feel that you're more in touch with the district? I mean, what you have just laid out here as far as your policies when you're talking to people, I mean, is that what you're hearing back?
That's exactly what I'm hearing back. I've been standing out on the street talking to people. I also sit down with people, as I said, day to day in my professional life. Real people, not business people, not big business people. I sit down with union rank and file, not union bosses. I sit down with people that work for a living. And they're expressing exactly the same thing. The economy needs drastic help, and it's not by borrowing money from China to create government jobs. Our healthcare does need true reform. Malpractice has to stop. Not if you have a legitimate case, of course you should bring the case to court. Texas just enacted some very strong tort reform, which has brought down medical insurance rates drastically. by allowing doctors not to have to practice defensive medicine. They can actually practice medicine, which is a wonderful thing. That's what they took an oath to do. And it helps the consumer, it helps the patients. And people are desperate for that. They're also desperate for true accountability and people that understand are in touch with Washington, with the Main Street.
Right. All right, so we have just about 30 seconds left, Marty. You have to win the primary before we can. I mean, I've been asking you about your differences with Congressman Jim McGovern, which I think are very, very stark. The debates, if you get by the Republican primary and are the nominee, are really going to be something. There won't be. I don't think people are going to be in the middle thinking, am I for one or for the other? There's a real contrast here. How do you win the primary? How do you see that?
Well, in 30 seconds or less.
Yes,
now
I'm sorry. I know. Reader's Digest version.
We have 6 months right now, and myself as well as the other candidates right now who are collecting signatures for the Republican nomination are going town to town, shaking hands and meeting people. I look forward to sitting down in living rooms. I look forward to sitting down in any type of community organizations, meeting room, and letting people interview me. As I said, in the Tea Party, we were chanting, "You work for us." I want people to chant that at me, and I want to be interviewed by them. And if I'm the best candidate for the job, and it is a job, working for the people, then I want their vote. If they truly think somebody else is the better candidate for that job position, this is America. That's what our vote is all about.
Well, congratulations on putting yourself out there. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you again right here on Wake Up Worcester.